What's up guys, Rob the Awesome here, and today we're going to take a look at the scrumptious assortment of heavy secondaries that the game has to offer, and deciding which is the best, and which is the worst. Let's go! Before I start, there are certain things you should know before watching. These guys don't just focus purely on the stats, we also focus on the psychological portion of the weapon as well, and how it affects both the user of the weapon and the victims against it, so keep that in mind while watching. Another thing is that if a weapon isn't listed in this video, then the only reason for that is because it's a reskin of another weapon. End of story. Lastly, I advise people to read the pinned comment at the top of the comment section to understand what these guys are about and what my intentions are when making them. It's important to understand the reasoning for why I do these guides and grasp the bigger picture for past, present, and future best and worst videos. Alright, we good? Here we go. Like always, let's start with the stock shotgun. This baby fires a blast of pellets in a radius for massive and destructive damage. With 6 rounds per magazine and 38 ammo total, the shotgun can be a reliable source of damage for cleanup duty or head-on collisions. The shotgun fires 10 pellets at a time, and each pellet can do between 3 to 9 damage, collectively forming to do a maximum of 30 to 90 potential damage per shot. A typical shotgun for such a big man. What does something like this have to offer on the battlefield compared to the mighty minigun? It can do some pretty nice collective damage, even giving the heavy mobility over his minigun. But what of it? Your minigun can do massive DPS from any range, even when enemies try to run away, and has a buttload of ammo you can use at any time. The shotgun is meant to give the heavy a backup option for when the minigun runs out of ammo, or for when he needs to retreat fast but keep a good amount of damage. Except there is a bunch of problems with that. For one, the minigun doesn't really run out of ammo. There are a ton of ammo packs and dispensers everywhere to constantly give you max ammunition. Even dead bodies give you half your bullets back. Secondly, the heavy is usually a damage sponge. No matter what his speed is, he is too slow to escape a scout or soldier's massive amount of damage when you have revved up minigun speed. The benefactor of quick getaways loses its meaning with heavies when it's all about proper placement from the start with a piss poor escape plan in the future. The shotgun can do great damage all around and is reliable for when a heavy needs to use it, but for when he needs to use it really doesn't matter with the minigun's huge potential, and it's ultimately meaningless in the long run. Shotguns aren't looking up to be the best option for the heavy, but for now we'll put this weapon right in the middle and go from there. One man's shotgun is another man's lunchbox. When damage isn't enough, sometimes all a person needs is the sandwich. This bountiful meat and vegetable combo, when eaten, gives the heavy instant rejuvenation of 300 health over the span of 4 seconds. While eating your sandwich, you are stationary and cannot move, but can gain back full health when used correctly, though it will not give you overheal past your original health. It can be used every 30 seconds, but can be recharged instantly when at max health when you step over any health pack. As an added bonus, the sandwich can be shared with a teammate to help give them half their health back from serious attacks. Who would think a sandwich could do all that? It's pretty amazing when you think about it. It gives you full health back when behind cover and only takes 4 seconds to do it. That's something if a medic isn't around or he was just picked off to stall for time for when a medic respawns. It keeps the tempo in your team's favor when you don't have to step outside the battlefield with your slow movement speed just to find another health pack. It's like being in a state of death but without the respawn. It just wastes potential resources. With this secondary, you have a fully charged health pack that you can use at any time you'd like and can easily be recharged from a nearby health pack when at full HP, totally taking away the recharge time completely. On top of keeping yourself alive, the sandwich is the perfect thing for your medic for when he is at low HP. Instantly restoring half his health can be crucial for keeping one of your most important classes alive and can make or break an uber advantage if done correctly. Being a massive support tool for the team, as well as being an accessible health pack that is easily rechargeable, makes this an important tool for team play and is an unlock anyone can find useful in just about any situation. Because of the high usability and self-preservation in team play, and has little to no consequences when using this amazing tool, this weapon goes above the stock shotgun. What can I say? Getting full health back and helping out your medic with no real downside sure is handy over a shotgun that seems rather selfish and useless with your arsenal. When sandwiches aren't to your liking, try Manco's latest and greatest chocolate, the Dalokohs bar. This decadent sweet, when eaten, gives the user an additional 50 max health for 30 seconds, transforming your 300 overall health into 350 health to soak up. Having additional health does not raise potential overheal, keeping the max overheal at 450 when with a medic. You also gain back 100 health over the span of 4 seconds, even going past maximum HP into overheal territory for self-preservation. It can be used every 10 seconds as a consistent health pack and can be recharged instantly with stepping over a health pack with max HP. Lastly, it can also be shared with teammates to restore 20% of their overall health. A nice competitor with the famed sandwich, but will it live up to the massive expectations and upsides it has? Being able to get back 100 health from the Dalokohs sure doesn't seem as great as getting 300 health back from the sandwich. However, you do gain 50 extra health for more health pack health, medic heal gains, and dispenser healing. That's right, the more health you have, the more health you can get from just about anywhere, making this a great tool to build up your initial 300 HP in less time. Not to mention, you can survive 2 quickscope headshots from snipers, which is also pretty great. It only takes 10 seconds to recharge over the sandwich's 30. That'd be a key thing to note if it wasn't for the fact that you can instantly recharge anywhere with a health pack at full HP. And having more health and less recharge time gives the incentive to not want to do that anyways. But the 10 seconds does have a beneficial usage when supporting your medic with the lunchbox. When you give a sandwich, it refills half their HP, but takes 30 seconds and you won't necessarily use it again if you do happen to recharge it fast. However, the chocolate bar gives 20% healing for every 10 seconds, giving 60% HP in the same time a sandwich takes to do 50. So the sandwich gives you 300 health with every use and has little recharge with a large amount of health packs everywhere? Still seems more important than 100 healing and extra health, especially when you don't get any additional medic overheal. One can argue a medic doesn't need 50% healing from the sandwich. A chocolate bar's 20% does just fine. But it's better to be safe than sorry, and ultimately Heavy's role is to be a big meat shield rather than to be a flank all around. Even despite going over and beyond your health for overheal potential, it can be a pain having to constantly eat the chocolate for benefits every 30 seconds, especially when a push could be right around the corner. This lunchbox is great for flank heavy styles to play, as well as being a damage sponge as well, but sadly not as well as the sandwich can. Because of the hassle to constantly keep eating the sandwich, and the fact that a majority of upsides only shine without a medic, which you should be having regardless, this weapon goes below the sandwich. The chocolate is a fantastic lunchbox that I recommend people to use. It's just that the sandwich can be a lifesaver and is more useful for the roles Heavy needs to fulfill. If it came down to it, it's still a nice substitute for the sandwich in terms of healing med and getting health faster. But regardless, it's still too much of a pain to keep eating, leaving you vulnerable more than ever. Let's stray away from the lunchboxes for now and check out some of the Heavy's other assortment of shotguns. Shotguns like the family business. This gun has an additional 33% clip size added to the weapon, transforming the original 6-bullet clip into 8 to fire from. On top of the extra clip size, the gun shoots 15% faster, giving you more chances to do huge amounts of damage in small amounts of time. The upsides make this gun sound like a dream come true. However, the downside is that there's a 15% damage penalty on the weapon. Every pellet does between 2.5 to 7.5 damage for a maximum potential damage between 25 to 75 damage a shot. Another shotgun to add to the collection. Now that we know lunchboxes exist, it's rather hard to give this a good rep. If anything, it's had a long rivalry with the shotgun that needs to be decided right here, right now. Let's start with the damage. Although the shotgun does indeed do more, doing between 30 to 90 potential max damage, the family business doesn't fall too far behind, only losing between 8 to 15 potential max damage per shot in the long run. Missing out on 8 damage isn't as devastating as, let's say, 30 or 40 damage would be per shot, especially when we move on to our next subject of ammunition. The family business gives you 2 additional bullets in your clip, but how does that stack up for damage? Unfortunately, all 8 bullets still don't live up to the damage the shotgun does, losing between 8 to 40 damage in a full clip. 2 extra bullets to shoot and it still doesn't do more damage? What's the point if I can use Stock's clip faster and it's more powerful? But is that the case? The family business has one more key factor of having a faster fire rate, keeping the competition alive. With the extra fire rate, you only lose 1/4 of a second when shooting all 8 bullets compared to the shooting of all 6 of Stock's magazine. 1/4 of a second? For more chances to shoot at my enemy? That makes the 8 to 40 damage loss really nothing at all if I'm accurate enough. The family business gives you more chances to fire with very little loss in damage and fire rate. Although the reloads are the same for both guns, it ultimately matters little when you can both shoot at the same time in a fight. Because the damage penalty matters very little in the long run and gives you more chances to fire with really no consequences of fire rate, this weapon goes above the stock shotgun. 8 to 40 max potential damage loss really isn't anything when you fire 8 loaded bullets of mass destruction. You can still kill every class in the same amount of bullets the shotgun can, but has 2 more bullets and the same fire rate time for clip drain, which is a win-win to me. An odd addition to the heavy shotgun arsenal is the panic attack. This one is a doozy, being one of a kind in its own right. The gun has a 50% faster reload time and deploys 50% faster for fast damage output. Now this is where it gets weird. The fire rate increases as health decreases, meaning you'll start off with a slow fire rate and gradually end up with a super fast fire rate when your health is low. Your weapon spread also increases as your health decreases, meaning the shotgun will get a whole lot less accurate with its pellets, ultimately doing less damage the lower your health is. Lastly, you can store up to 4 bullets per shot, the mechanic being that you start off with 0 bullets and by holding mouse 1, gradually reload up to 4 bullets to shoot massive damage in a single go. However, once you let go of mouse 1, you can't change weapons or reload more bullets until you have fired every bullet you have loaded into the gun, making for a serious guessing game of how your shotgun will react with your health and your ammunition. That was a mouthful of things to say, and for what? It's still a heavy shotgun, but with confusing stats? Okay, so this is essentially just like the beggar's bazooka in shotgun form. You load up to 4 bullets to get consistent damage out and adhering to a more tracking style of play instead of point and click. With a fast reload speed and fast weapon switch 2 speed, it can certainly be super fast to do quick cleanups on enemies who are low on health. However, a lot of what this gun provides is based on chance. You have to hope that your health is consistent, and that is not always guaranteed. At higher health, your fire rate is slower, but you are a whole lot more accurate, being able to land a lot of your pellets for consistent damage. However, when you are low health, your fire rate is super fast and rather hard to control, with your pellets being super inaccurate to miss out on a lot of potential damage. This gun is a multi-class shotgun. It should be good for everyone who uses it, but because the heavy is a huge meat shield that takes in a ton of damage, this gun doesn't do the heavy any justice. You're going to get hit a lot. That's just the realization you have to have when playing heavy. To have a shotgun that isn't really amazing at low HP just shows how not for heavy this gun really is. The weapon in itself isn't bad at all. It just isn't something heavy could potentially use when A, shotguns aren't really something heavies should be using, and B, he has lunchboxes that do much better. Because of the gun not really being something for the heavy, and the RNG you have to make this weapon work, this weapon goes below the shotgun. Damn dude, in a game where situations fly and change course so fast, you can't rely on luck for a majority of the game if you want to succeed in the world of Team Fortress 2. Lastly, we delve into the main course that's as intricate as it is delicious, the buffalo steak sandwich. This piece of delectable meat, when eaten, gives the user 35% increased movement speed and full-on mini-crit damage to strike your enemies with. Mini-crits and movement speed? For heavy? This can't possibly go south, can it? Well, it does. The downside when eating it is that you take 25% increased damage from everything, and you can only use your melee weapons for the 15 seconds that the effect lasts for. The speed cannot stack with melees that also give the heaviest speed boost, and at the very least you can share the steak with a teammate to help give them half their health back from serious attacks. What a weird lunchbox compared to the other food items. More damage and movement speed sounds nice, but at the risk of taking more damage in melee only for 15 seconds, doesn't seem like you can use that a whole lot of the time. In the support department, it's exactly the same as the sandwich. You can be instantly recharged with a health pack at max HP. So the question is, what situation would this be used for to make the support section shine? 35% additional movement speed is practically the same as the 40% additional movement speed a heavy gets when whipped with the disciplinary action, except now the soldier can do a legit rollout instead of constantly whacking the heavy. Disciplinary action. Where would you use one of those? Oh right, rollouts. On maps like King of the Hill and 5CP, where rollouts can definitely last quite a bit of time, a one-time usage at the start can be crucial to get to the front lines faster while giving your soldier the incentive to go for a full-on rollout. Once you get to mid, the steak sandwich can be used to give to your medic like that of the sandwich until you die and instantly change it out. It doesn't stack with other melees that give the heavy speed unfortunately, but at least it's something. There aren't very many uses for this secondary other than gimmicky aspects or fun times. Rollouts are your best option that can be useful from the start without losing any of that important support you can give to your teammates. It's certainly nothing compared to the sandwich or the chocolate bar, but it's certainly not beneath the likes of the shotgun either. Because of the support and healing like the sandwich it still has for the team, and a one-time important usage from the start that doesn't have an active place anywhere else, this weapon goes below the Dalokohs bar. I understand the risk of putting the stake above the shotguns. To a lot of people watching, it is nothing more than a gimmick. Just keep in mind that the stake has its uses and that I want to provide the message that lunchboxes are more effective in gameplay than any shotgun the heavy has in his arsenal. A passive benefit of supporting teammates will always prevail over selfish shotgun damage that is overshadowed by the minigun. And those are the best and worst heavy secondaries. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. If you want to see more of these types of informational videos, leave a like and subscribe to let me know. Remember to be awesome, stay awesome, and to have an awesome day. I'm Rob the Awesome, and I'll see you guys later. Ciao for now.
Motherfucker, I'm awesome. No, you're not, dude. Don't lie. I'm awesome. I'm driving around in my mom's ride. I'm awesome. A quarter of my life gone by, and I met all my friends online. Motherfucker, I'm awesome. I will run away from a brawl. I'm awesome. There's no voicemail, nobody calls. I'm awesome. I can't afford to buy 8 balls, and I talk to myself on my Facebook wall. You know my pants sag low.